I'm not the same Brooklyn you knew.
Jurassic World Chaos Theory has so far been a fantastic show. However, both seasons have had their unfortunate canonical errors. Season 2, sadly, added to that. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Jurassic World Chaos Theory video. Today, we're recapping Season 2 of the show and discussing something that a few of you have been asking me to cover. What are the canonical errors of the show that I spotted? Season 1 of the show has so far had the largest retcon of not just the series, but probably the entire franchise, as it decided to go ahead and replace the events of Jurassic World Dominion, moving it from the month of August 2022 to now November 2022. There were heaps of canonical marketing items, many interviews, and internal timelines that confirmed Dominion took place in or around August of 2022, so I am still unsure what the decision behind that truly was. But we have had confirmation that Chaos Theory takes place 2 months before the events of Dominion, and with on-screen dates in the show and calendars confirming that this show takes place in September of 2022, Dominion has now been retconned to November. However, we thought that would be the only retcon made, but now Season 2 has decided to go a little deeper into changing the canon of the franchise. Now, before we get into this, I must stress that everything I am going to be talking about in today's video is not story-breaking retcons. These are just tiny details I noticed that are incorrect. They don't in any way break the timeline nor the story of the franchise. So please don't take this video extremely seriously nor harshly. It's merely been made to educate the fans of the franchise who want to understand it better. So today we're going to be breaking down a few canonical errors in the show that just made it a little messy. And who better than someone who studied the ins and outs of this franchise very deeply for the last 6 years now and has had an immense understanding of the entire canonical lore of the movie universe? Myself. Man, that sounded a little less nerdy and sad in my head. Anyways, if you want more Chaos Theory content here on YouTube, then make sure you're subscribed to the channel so that you don't miss an upload. We also cover news and content from Jurassic World Rebirth, Jurassic Park Survival, and the soon-to-be announced Jurassic World Evolution 3 video game, all coming within the next few years. And with a third season of Chaos Theory likely coming soon, you're going to want to stick around. But for now, make sure you're all sat back, relaxed, and enjoying your G Fuel after using code SWERVE, as it's time to go ahead and explain all of the canonical errors in Jurassic World Chaos Theory Season 2. Firstly, before we get deep into starting this video, I just want to say that whilst this video may be about the canonical errors of the show, there were still many more additions that were canonically great in the show, tying in many things from Jurassic World Dominion and before. One of which, for example, is the laser pointer that Suna Santos uses that allows the Atrociraptors to attack a designated target. At first, some people were saying that they got it wrong, as the pointer is red and then turns green, but I can confirm after rewatching Jurassic World Dominion again that even in the movie itself, the pointer starts out as red and then turns green when activated. You only got to see this for a split second on screen, so it just goes to show that a lot of detail is focused on in this animated show to get it right. Unfortunately though, some errors do slip through the cracks. So before any of you come at me saying I am being nitpicky here, yeah, I know I am. And I am also fully aware of the great canonical additions and focus that this show also had too. But for this video, I will be explaining what was canonically wrong and try to give my best in-universe explanation to each one of them. So here we go. The first one I want to talk about is something that happens I think maybe 2 or 3 times throughout this season, but the very first time I believe that it happens on screen is when we have that flashback sequence with Brooklyn. When Brooklyn is working with the DLN to try and uncover exactly where the broker resides, Brooklyn mentions to Ronnie while she's on the phone that there are dinosaurs only in America.
Any luck convincing old Moneybags Ernest to get you overseas?
Not yet, and honestly, I can't blame him. If all the dinosaurs are here in the States, why would we go abroad? What could the broker be doing over there?
Now, this show, considering it does take place in September of 2022, should understand that that is not true whatsoever. Now, how do we know that this isn't true? Well, Dino Tracker, a canonical marketing website used for Jurassic World Dominion, has multiple sightings of dinosaurs across the globe, in Europe, in Asia, Africa, and even in South America as well. So we know that dinosaurs have been all across the world, and some people might be saying, oh, but Swerve, this only takes place after Chaos Theory, yada yada yada. That's not true. Some clips and photos on the Dino Tracker website date back to as early as 2021. I've spoken to the creators of the website, and that was the whole intention behind it. These dinosaurs have been recorded and tracked after the events of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Obviously given some time so that they can set up the website and the DPW and all of that stuff. So we know that all of these sightings that take place outside of the United States of America took place long before Jurassic World Chaos Theory. And some people might go ahead to then say, but Swerve, how are they supposed to know about Dino Tracker? Dino Tracker appears in both Season 1 and Season 2 of Chaos Theory. It's quite literally there. So they have the same website that we have access to, so they should realistically be able to see the sightings that took place in other continents. So Brooklyn saying that dinosaurs are only in America is completely false, and she even has the whole website herself to realize that she is not telling the truth here. But it just makes me think, if they're going to go ahead and use the Dino Tracker website itself, why are they so oblivious to knowing that there are dinosaurs in Africa, Europe, Asia, and South America? And I think in episode 2, something similar also happens here, because Darius mentions something similar, saying, why are there dinosaurs in Africa? We were staying on that boat way too long to still be in North America, right? And I'm thinking, a dinosaur nerd of his capability should realize that there are dinosaurs all across the globe now. Even at the end of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, we see a Baryonyx literally being shipped over to Russia. That's in 2018. So that just irks me just a little bit, especially considering we literally see the Dino Tracker website in the show. The next one is more of an unfortunate one because it's not technically a canonical error so far, but in episode 4, Darius mentions that dinosaurs are here to stay. That's a direct quote. But unfortunately, the recent synopsis of the next movie, Jurassic World Rebirth, says that the dinosaur population is lowering and they now reside within the equator. So what Darius mentions here, that dinosaurs are here to stay, contrasts with exactly what Jurassic World Rebirth is practically all about. These dinosaurs aren't here to stay. So I understand that before the synopsis of Rebirth happened, Jurassic World Chaos Theory was already deep into development, and I assume that Season 2 was also there before they had a finalized script for Rebirth. So I just think this is more of an unfortunate one, but maybe not really a canonical error. That's for you to decide. Either way, I don't blame Chaos Theory for this. My blame is more to do with Rebirth with this one. Now the next one is very nitpicky, and I recognize this. However, the Dubai skyline. The Dubai skyline is something that the Emiratis are extremely proud of, and is undoubtedly probably the nicest city skyline in the whole entire world. But for some reason, Jurassic World Chaos Theory decided to make this skyline look very underwhelming and very disappointing, and I don't know why. Now, the best way that I can explain this in universe is merely the fact that since this is a different universe to ours, this is what the skyline looks like in Dubai in the Jurassic universe. So it doesn't look like the one that we have in our world. But it just makes you think, when you search up the Dubai skyline, there are so many photos, even animated photos and cartoons, that show the skyline so nicely and it makes it look so good. This is something that loads of countries and people across the world appreciate Dubai for, the skyline. So whilst they do have some recognizable buildings in the Dubai skyline here, a lot of them are either misplaced or they're just practically there just for the sake of it. And if we were to compare the real skyline of Dubai, it just doesn't match whatsoever. Even some buildings that appear in Dubai Marina, apparently now in downtown Dubai, it just doesn't make too much sense to me. And I just feel like they could have done a little bit better. I recognise this is only on screen for 5 seconds throughout the whole entire season, but it's more about being more appreciative of how nice this skyline looks in our world. Again, I recognise this is me being very nitpicky here, and it's not really a canonical error, it's just something that they really could have done a lot better with. And now we move on to something that actually irked me quite a lot. So Irina Santos calls Red the Atrociraptor a she, a female. Now this is only mentioned once throughout the whole entire season, and whilst most people would have skipped over it, the true fans of Jurassic realised that she made a mistake here. She, as in Irina Santos, made a mistake. Well, the Atrociraptors of Ghost, Panthera, Red, and Tiger are 4 Atrociraptors that are amalgamated from standard Atrociraptor DNA, but also some Isla Sorna variants of Velociraptors from Jurassic Park 3. This helps them with intelligence and obedience. But not only that, these 4 dinosaurs put together are called, yes, this is canonical, the Evil Raptor Squad. Now, people are going to laugh at that, sure, I get that, it's a very cheesy name to have, but why are they called the Evil Raptor Squad? Well, the Atrociraptors, and this has been confirmed many times throughout canonical marketing stuff, and also the creators of Jurassic World Dominion themselves, but the Atrociraptors were made specifically to be in contrast to the Raptor Squad of Velociraptors. The Velociraptors, Blue, Charlie, Delta, Echo. The Atrociraptors, Ghost, Tiger, Panthera, Red. Those names, whilst they aren't directly contrasting, do contrast to some extent, with Red and Blue, Ghost and Echo, and so on. But what else that they decided to do with the Atrociraptors is make every single Atrociraptor male. That's right. Every Atrociraptor is male, Ghost, Panthera, Tiger, Red. They're all males because this contrasts to the all-female group of the Velociraptor squad. Now I know there are some wikis out there, which again are fan-made guys, that suggest that some Atrociraptors are male, some are female, but that's completely wrong. All of these Atrociraptors were made in contrast to the Velociraptors, which are all female, therefore making all of these Atrociraptors male. And that was specified internally with Universal again, that all of these Atrociraptors are in fact male. So, Sayona Santos going ahead and calling Red she, it's clear that Sayona Santos didn't look up the raptor's skirt.
How do you know they're all female? Does somebody go out in the park and pull up the dinosaur's skirts?
Now continuing on potential backstory retcons for creatures, we can see very quickly that the Lystrosaurus does appear in Jurassic World Chaos Theory Season 2. Unfortunately, we don't quite get to see the action of this little critter, but we do see it there within the orange goo of the cloning tubes. So we know that this is pretty much where the Lystrosaurus came from. Now again, this is me being nitpicky, and it doesn't confirm directly that this is a canonical retcon, but once again, internally, when creating the Lystrosaurus, it was described as being more of a purebred, and wasn't described as being brought over from Senegal, wasn't described as being made in test tubes like it was there. However, we have no confirmation that that Lystrosaurus that we see in Season 2 is the same one that we see in Jurassic World Dominion. This just might be a freak accident that Dr. Sa was able to create, and this Lystrosaurus has a complete different backstory to the other Lystrosaurus. And since the Senegalese facility did blow up, I think it's safe to say we aren't going to see that Lystrosaurus anytime soon. But it's just interesting to keep an eye on for future seasons of Chaos Theory. Next up, once again with Sayona Santos, she says in episode 10, "It's only a matter of time before the world finds out about these loose dinosaurs and the facility is found." But there were dinosaurs in Africa long before these events, so surely if people saw these loose dinosaurs, they just considered them as wild dinosaurs. In fact, one of the dinosaurs that we see in Africa is an Allosaurus. We know that there is an Allosaurus in Africa according to Dino Tracker, so with Sayona Santos being maybe over cautious about these loose dinosaurs, again, I think that they've neglected the Dino Tracker sightings that appear on the website here, and I think she didn't really realise that these people can consider them as dinosaurs. After all, Zaina and Aminata go ahead and say that they've never seen these dinosaurs before they started to show up upriver. So maybe dinosaurs in Africa are more scarce than the rest of the continents. That's just my best in-universe explanation. And now finally, this again is something you must keep your eye on going into seasons 3 and possibly 4 of Chaos Theory. Red the Atrociraptor being the intelligent one. Now this isn't a major thing, but we do see something that's incredible, probably one of my favourite scenes in the entire franchise, of Red the Atrociraptor realising that the acoustic baryonyx listens to the clicking sounds of Dr. Sa, and he then goes and mimics these sounds so he controls the acoustic baryonyx instead. That for me is one of the best scenes that we've got from the entire franchise, not just Chaos Theory. However, this does make me just slightly concerned going into season 3 of the show. Now we are assuming that the next season of the show will reunite the Atrociraptor pack with Red, so I want you guys to pay attention to this going into the next season. We know that Ghost the Atrociraptor, the white Atrociraptor, is the alpha of the pack. Now there isn't any confirmation saying that he is the most intelligent one of them all, but considering Ghost is the alpha of the evil raptor squad, it's probably safe to assume that Ghost should, in theory, be the most intelligent one. So if this is said somewhere by passing dialogue, maybe by Sona Santos, the Raptor handler, we don't know, but if this is said in season 3 or 4 of Chaos Theory that Red is the alpha, we know that they've got that canonically wrong. Ghost is the alpha of the Atrociraptor squad, and showing Red's intelligence here does make me slightly confused, making me think, why is Red being shown the intelligence when he's not the alpha, if you know what I mean? Not only that, but seeing this intelligence from Red where he's able to realise what the human is doing to the dinosaur makes me think, how did Barry and Owen outsmart Red so easily in Jurassic World Dominion? All they did was wait for Red to pounce, and then Barry did a dive roll. If Red really is as intelligent as we see in Chaos Theory, Red should not have been captured that easily. That's all I'm saying. But nevertheless, I still love that scene so much and I find it so cool. So overall, what have we discovered? Well, it seems like Dino Tracker isn't used correctly, considering how many sightings are across the world and why these campers are questioning the dinosaurs away from North America. Jurassic World Rebirth synopsis seems to contrast with what is said in Jurassic World Chaos Theory with the dinosaurs here to stay. There is a messy Dubai skyline. Sona Santos accidentally calls Red the Atrociraptor a female when we know that all of the Atrociraptors are male. The Lystrosaurus' backstory might potentially be retconned, but that's very soft. Sona Santos isn't aware that there are other dinosaurs in Africa already, away from her facility, and there's a possibility that they might be retconning Ghost from being the alpha and instead passing that over to Red, since we see his intelligence in the show. That's all that I've discovered for possible retcons in Chaos Theory Season 2 that makes it slightly messy. Now, for those who don't know my backstory, this is a crucial part of the video. I make a big deal about canon being intact for this franchise, right down to the very minute details. Because the whole reason I first fell in love with this franchise was not because of the dinosaurs or the action, it was because this franchise is one of the most tightly knitted franchises to exist. Fun fact. I absolutely loved the focus and the care that went into the canon's continuity, so you could imagine my sadness when the Lagoon retcon happened in Fallen Kingdom. That's why the canonicity of this franchise is very close to my heart and extremely important to me, even the small details. I do fear that once the continuity is slightly lost and goes off track, so does my love for the franchise. That's why I am hoping this video sparks the eyes of future production crews working on the franchise to know how important keeping the canon well connected and aligned is to many of us. But again, I do recognise that these aren't exactly story breaking, and the majority of the people watching this will never have caught these mistakes anyways. This is just me being me, giving my backstory and all. Anyways, if you enjoyed today's video and felt like you learned something, then please go ahead and leave a like on the video and comment down your thoughts about it all. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with all of the latest news and content coming from the Jurassic franchise, and to help us reach 250,000 subscribers by the end of the year. But most importantly, make sure you're all staying safe out there, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye. Hello, hi, you. Did you enjoy the video? Just a little reminder to press that like button and also subscribe. I just want to thank my Patreons for this month on screen right here, as giving me that little extra support really does go a long way. But anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day.